Good afternoon, Uganda. Thank you so much, our dear viewer, for choosing the national broadcaster. Welcoming you on board for our lunchtime news this second day of February 2023. My name is Sandra Kahunde. We do apologize for bringing you this newscast a little late. Now, starting off, Parliament has advised the government to consider revising the staff structure and recruitment of Uganda's Civil Aviation Authority if it is to reduce the corruption tendencies in the aviation sector. This follows an update by the Minister for Works and Transport, Katumba Wamala, on the government interventions over the recent exposed corruption scandals at Entebbe International Airport. Katumba Wamala told Parliament that some of the staff implicated in the foul play have been charged, while those who have stayed at the airport for long have been transferred to different fields.
The Minister for Works and Transport, General Edward Katumba Wamala, has updated Parliament on the operations of Civil Aviation Authority in Entebbe following the recent outcry by a section of Ugandans who through the social media shared various concerns regarding allegations of corruption tendencies eating up the staffs at Uganda's oldest international airport.
A joint investigation team was set up to ensure that all cases and complaints are well investigated for appropriate action. Actually, even the investigation team from President's office has taken up this matter. Been there for more than 15 years. The labor desk has been removed from Entebbe International Airport.
The MPs said the use of social media was a blessing in disguise since it has supported in making of informal decisions.
Money from the toll gate is not declared, is not clear. So there is corruption from the management, from the top management, right, Honorable Speaker?
Until you deal with the deep-rooted, institutionalized corruption in this country, we are just scratching.
Minister Katumba Wamala told Parliament that a joint team of security will continue investigations to further improve management of the airport services. Wamala said that some staffs who have overstayed at the airport have been withdrawn and those implicated in the scandals are facing the dark side of the law.
Engagement meetings were held with the various agencies that serve at Entebbe International Airport to harmonize operations of the different stakeholders on departure with a view of ensuring that some functions are merged and handled more efficiently.
The MPs advised government to consider revising the staff structure at CAA, which they allege tops the causes of corruption tendencies in the aviation line.
I got from some people when they're saying, you see guys working with the URA, they get a lot of money than them, and yet they are working at the same airport. Some of them are getting less money. So issues of the welfare of the staff that are at the airport need to be looked into.
On a similar incident, members of Parliament have expressed dissatisfaction over the corruption in Uganda police forces, which is alleged to have led to mishandling of the police savings scheme.
And as per that, Mr. Speaker, most police force officers, the men of the Uganda police force who are members of Exodus, are there as slaves.
But Right Honorable Speaker, the recommendation that we made then, as the Inspectorate of Government, was to abolish this savings scheme, because it was not benefiting the majority of the police officers, apart from the top-ranking police officers who were actually getting this money, borrowing at a low interest rate.
This also followed a statement by the Minister of State for Internal Affairs, David Muhoozi, who was also responding to queries by Busia Municipality Member of Parliament, Geoffrey Macho, who questioned the operations of police savings scheme recently.
The contributed money remains members' money, members' savings, whichever way you look at it. And the circle needs to ensure further mobilization of members to inculcate the virtues of saving as opposed to living by the day, whatever their savings.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, has referred the matter to the Committee of Internal Affairs for further investigations.
And we can call on other members, especially those with interest, to come in and support on most of these matters. So since the House sounds dissatisfied with the response by the Minister, I'm referring it to the Committee on Internal Affairs.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
In more news, the government of Uganda has earmarked a compensation package of 17 million to relocate people settled in landslide-prone areas in Elgon region. The affected persons are expected to use that money to relocate to areas of their choice.
This marks a shift from the earlier approach where affected persons were relocated to locations identified by government. These included Kiryandongo district and Bunambutie in Bulambuli district. Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, following up on the cabinet directive, met with members of parliament and local government leaders from Elgon sub-region to set the relocation exercise schedule.
The president directed me to come up with a strategy of how we can evacuate people quickly to avoid a occurrence of a similar thing that happened in Mbale. Do you remember Mbale and these other areas surrounding, including the city, where we lost a number of people? So cabinet made a decision that we give a package in addition to that of give directly. Those of you who were with me in Bududa can bear me witness when Bududa, remember? Yes. And the give directly decided that they are going to give us 7 million per homestead. So the president said that money is not enough for people to move and settle. So we agreed as cabinet that let us give them an additional 10 million. And that made it 17. So the process of making sure that these people are relocated is on.
Nabanja emphasized that vacating landslide-prone areas will be voluntary. The process will start with those willing to accept compensation of 17 million shillings per landlord.
Those affected families, those that you know really, even when you don't give them anything, can move. You understand what I'm talking about? For their life, those who are really, who are supposed to save their life, those are the ones who are starting this. Because remember, even Kasese is complaining. Kasese, after you, we shall definitely go to Kasese. But we thought, let us start with where? With Mount Elgon.
Leaders in the respective districts in the Elgon sub-region were urged to speak with one voice and sensitize the affected persons to relocate as a matter of urgency.
This support which government of Uganda is extending, the 17 million, as compensation for people to move from those dangerous, risky areas. When we talk about planting trees, let's emphasize that it's going to be government's role.
We can work with the districts because they have the accurate numbers of the affected people. Otherwise, I want to thank you for the offer, and I want to state that the people who Bugisu as a whole, and the people of Bungoho Central in particular, are very ready for the offer.
I want to thank you for the decision that you made when you brought this paper to cabinet. To give people money, such that they have the freedom to buy land and set where they want.
The Minister for Tourism, Tom Butime, cautioned against politicking the relocation exercise.
Let us forget the matter of voting and concentrate on the lives of those people.
It was resolved that those who reject the compensation fee of 17 million shillings and are still at high-risk areas will be forcefully evicted. After everyone has vacated the land, an environment impact assessment will be conducted to facilitate the gazettement of the land. Dorcas Kimono, UBC TV News.
State Minister for Water and Environment, Beatrice Anywe, has asked Uganda to rally behind the cause of ending wetland degradation in order to preserve Uganda's ecosystems. The minister was speaking to the media ahead of World Wetlands Day being celebrated in Soroti today.
Every 2nd of February, the world commemorates the contributions of wetlands towards maintenance of ecosystem. While addressing journalists at Uganda Media Center, the Minister of State for Water and Environment, Beatrice Anywe, said Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate this day in Soroti district.
February 23, which is tomorrow, Uganda will join the rest of the global community to celebrate the World Wetlands Day. And this is the 52nd anniversary of signing the Ramsar Convention on the Protection of Wetlands.
The minister urged the public to rally behind the environmental restoration campaign to preserve wetlands.
Ladies and gentlemen, wetlands in Uganda registered a decline in their coverage from 15.6% in 1994 to 13% in 2015. Only 8.9% of the 13% was intact, and over 4.1% already degraded. Friends, today I challenge you to be part of the fight against this impunity, especially you, the media.
On the same note, health experts are concerned about the increasing cases of antimicrobial resistance, which pose a serious danger to humans. The World Health Organization representative in Uganda, Dr. Jonas, notes that the changing patterns in disease resistance has not only affected humans but also in animals.
Basically, we see antimicrobial resistance increasing. For example, we see a multiple drug resistant in TB developing more and more. Unfortunately, 50 to 80% of these people are also suffering from HIV/AIDS. Every time we get resistance, we go into the second class of antibiotics. If we were able to treat TB at a single day course for 1,000 shillings, when we go into the second line of drugs, we are talking about this going to 20 times more expensive.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Now, in other details of the day, a team of researchers from the College of Education and External Studies, Makerere University, is set to train ghetto youth and equip them with entrepreneurial skills, as well as give them seed capital for their businesses. The project, titled Kampala Ghetto Youth Training for Entrepreneurial Promotion 6, to offer an opportunity of self-employment to the youth of the 5 divisions that make up Kampala City. The Minister for Kampala, Capital City and Metropolitan Affairs, Mr. Kabanda, welcomed the university initiative and thanked them for supplementing government's efforts towards ghetto youth in Kampala.
Once we begin training, we are going to organize these trainings into groups of 5 each, and each group will be asked to identify a viable micro business for training purposes. Then each group will be given starting capital. So the reason we are doing that is as we train them in class, we are also growing.
We need at each stage to measure the progress that we are making and the success that we are making. We are using money of the Ugandan taxpayer, and it's very important that at each stage we are covered for this money. There must be for money.
So when you see some people going to train, because at least these people are not giving them money, but they are skilling these people. So if they are skilling them and have identified them, that's the best. I think we shall benefit as government, and these people are going to benefit as ghetto people. So I'll encourage them to keep on, to take this chance, use this chance as being selected amongst the few. Because they said they were supposed to educate or to train about 5,000, but because of the money they have selected few people. So these selected people should use this chance and utilize it well, so that they can also be trainers of trainers, because they have got the best chance. They've told us about the incubation center, which they're going to open up, and the machines are already here. So me, I will just come and visit them, just cut as a visit and see what is taking place here. And as a part of government, I thank government because it has given them money, and I thank the chancellors of this university for having selected the ghetto people to educate them and train them.
UBC Lunchtime News. Lake Albert shoreline residents have received 4,000 free mosquito nets and mama kits from a non-government organization in the fight against malaria. The residents of Chisukuma sub-county in Hoima district have been helped by Think Humanity, a non-government organization.
Expectant mothers, children and elderly persons in over 4,000 households in 2 parishes of Kabatindura and Bukona in Chisukuma sub-county Hoima district have received mosquito nets and over 100 delivery kits from Think Humanity, a non-government organization. Annette Tumusime and other residents say many children have died and many expectant mothers have had miscarriages because of malaria.
You hear that we are going to bury a child who was dead from malaria. That is true. And abortion is because of malaria.
Janet Kusima says that malaria has drained their incomes, yet they are living a peasant life.
Mothers plus our children, you find that when they go to the hospital, the number increases at any time. And
although government a few years ago supplied nets across the country, residents in this community say we are not enough to cater for all beds.
You wrote 5 beds and you need 5 mosquito nets. Then they give you 2 remains.
The distribution of free mosquito nets by Think Humanity follows a petition by local leaders led by Steve Moronji Mwijakubi, seeking support in the fight against malaria.
Make sure they sleep under them so that we fight this killer malaria, which is caused by Anopheles mosquito, basically a female Anopheles mosquito, which keep on carrying malaria and cause danger to the lives of the children, to the lives of the mothers, and this goes into the pocket of the husbands.
Chisukuma Sub-County Chairperson, Local Council 3, Yowasi Tabura, called on the public to properly use mosquito nets to fight against malaria. According to Think Humanity Healthcare Manager Pascal Mbajesti, their campaign is aimed at eradicating malaria among expectant mothers, children under the age of 5 and the elderly.
For very many years, since 2007, we've given water like in Bukona still 2 wells. We are also constructing other wells in Bugambe.
Well, glad to know you're still following the news updates coming to you this very hour. Shortly after these messages, I do return with more.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes, 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello? Hello? This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions, and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number, and you send it to her chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it? Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera. Refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Sent transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
Welcome back. It is UBC Lunchtime News. We're coming to you live from Nile Avenue. Now, updates coming through this Thursday when we take a look at business. Uganda's overall score in the Absa Africa Financial Markets Index increased by 6 points to 66 in 2022, moving the country up to 4th from 6th place in the rankings. Now, despite the commendable improvement, there is still massive work to be done, especially on market depth and capacity of investors, says Ramadhan Ngobi, the Permanent Secretary to the Treasury.
As we delve deeper into the report findings and the macroeconomic indicators, we will assess the performance of the economy, provide our outlook for the year ahead, and insights on what needs to be done for further economic growth.
Uganda's score for Pillar 3, Market Transparency, Tax and Regulatory Environment registered the largest increase to 81 from 60 in 2021. This was largely due to an improvement in environmental, social and governance initiatives and standards after the Bank of Uganda launched a strategic 5-year plan from 2022 to 2027, which focuses on the sustainability of the financial system and climatic risk.
But in a regional perspective, right, Kenya depreciating 9-10% against the dollar over the last year. Tanzania depreciating less than that. Here over the last 12 months, 3-4% for Uganda. Really quite a remarkably favorable outcome. But an environment where I think we'll probably be to see a little bit faster deterioration in the next year or two. Okay. Trade account, still a little bit difficult. Services probably likely to improve. Reserves not at uncomfortable levels, but have fallen. And a risk environment globally, right, where there are more risks out there than there are opportunities.
The annual Absa Index is hailed by government for providing a platform for networking, exchanging ideas, and finding pathways towards collective and progressive action.
We will contribute tremendously to our policy and investment decisions for both the public and private sectors, as we strive to further unlock the pivotal role of SMEs in stimulating economic growth, creating decent jobs, helping millions of Ugandans to escape poverty and improve their livelihoods.
Uganda's Agenda 2030, 2063 and Vision 2040 all aim at promoting investment in strategic areas in order to stimulate social and economic growth.
The process has been, how do we move to the program approach and prioritize getting, of course, the budget to align to the plan.
Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
Now, more from business. Members of the Education Policy Review Commission have interacted with the administration of the Uganda Institute of Information and Communication Technology in Akawa. Former Education Minister Kano Amanya Mushega led the team.
The management of the Uganda Institute of Information and Communication Technology in Akawa have underscored the need for more government funding to the institute. Apart from inadequate funding from government, the institute has some other challenges like lack of modern ICT training equipment as a national ICT innovation and training hub in the country. The institute management, led by the institute secretary, Ambrose Johnson Bakwasibwe, was interacting with members of the Education Policy Review Commission, led by former Education and Sports Minister Amanya Mushega.
The challenge that we have as ICT sector is that we don't have a framework in place that will regulate who is an ICT professional and who is not an ICT professional, and the institute is coming in to ensure that this gap is bridged, create a foundational course that will be trained, will be provided as a training to all people who have attained acquired qualifications in ICT.
In order to emphasize the significance of applied research in the institute's management has decided to shift research component right from first-year students from the old system of starting with the second-year students.
That in the new curriculum that we are working on, we are revising that to start research from first year. Because second year it's really late, people are struggling with many things they want to complete.
On behalf of the Commission, Chairman Amanya Mushega advised them to put their concerns in writing so that the Commission can forward them to relevant authorities.
So I would like you to write us a memo which mentions your issues but also things outside the box so that we become a better place and also beyond.
The institute, which until the year 2000 was still under Uganda Posts and Telecommunications, is now managed by the Uganda Communications Commission on behalf of the Ministry of Information, Technology and National Guidance.
Thank you so much for making time to join us, and of course I get these very updates coming your way in this very newscast. More news updates will be coming. We'll keep watching UBC later on in our timely news hours of the day. My name is Sandra Kahunde, and greetings from the team behind the scene. Wish you a beautiful Thursday.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only $49,000.